A dark car door, covered in neon green spray paint. A massive, ugly graffiti tag running from the front fender all the way to the rear door handle. The kind of damage that makes your stomach drop when you walk out to the parking lot and see it for the first time. Your hands are shaking, your mind is already calculating, new paint job, body shop estimates, thousands of dollars. Your weekend, your savings, your blood pressure, all destroyed by some punk with a $5 can. Now watch this. A single microfiber cloth, a bottle of clear gel that costs $1, the kind of thing sitting in your bathroom right now. That gel gets pressed gently against the neon green graffiti tag, and in front of your eyes, without sandpaper, without power tools, without a single professional technician in sight, the spray paint begins to liquefy. It bleeds into the cloth. It dissolves. It disappears. And underneath it, the factory finish of that car door is perfect. Flawless, shining, like the vandalism never happened. $1. Zero sandpaper. No body shop. No $2,000 estimate. And the car looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor. That is what this video is going to show you how to do, and by the time it is over, you will never panic about spray paint on your car again. But more importantly, you are going to understand exactly why the body shop industry has spent decades making sure you never found this out. Welcome to the Buried Blueprint. If you care about what corporations and industries hide from you to protect their profits, if you believe that the information that saves your wallet belongs to you and not to some $10 billion trade association, then hit subscribe and hit the bell right now, because every single video on this channel is a piece of classified knowledge they tried to bury. And today's blueprint is one of the most infuriating ones we have ever uncovered. Let us start at the crime scene, not the graffiti on your car door, the real crime. The one happening inside the collision center when the estimate writer walks around your vehicle with a clipboard and a poker face and a number already in his head before he even looks at the damage. You have to understand the world you are walking into when you roll into a body shop with spray paint on your car. These are not neutral service providers. The collision and auto body repair industry in the United States is a $10 billion machine, and that machine runs on one thing: your panic, your complete and total ignorance of paint chemistry. Because the moment you do not know what kind of paint is on your car versus what kind of paint got sprayed on your car, you are completely at their mercy, and they know it. Here is what happens at the body shop. The estimate writer, who is trained in the art of controlled bad news delivery, crouches down beside your door. He runs his fingernail across the edge of the graffiti. He sighs. He shakes his head slightly, just enough for you to catch it. Then he stands up and he says something like, "Unfortunately, the solvent in the spray paint has bonded with your clear coat at a molecular level. We are going to have to wet sand the entire panel and possibly respray to get a color-matched finish." And you, standing there already devastated, already imagining driving around with a graffiti tag on your car forever, you nod and you ask, "How much?" And the number that comes back is somewhere between $1,500 and $2,500. Sometimes more if they can sense the desperation in your voice. But here's the part the body shops desperately hide. That estimate writer knew, the moment he touched your car, exactly what kind of paint was on that door. He knew because this is his profession. He went to school for this. He has seen it hundreds of times. He knows the difference between spray can paint and your factory finish. He knows the chemistry. He just also knows that there is no profit in handing you a bottle of rubbing alcohol and a microfiber cloth and sending you home. So they let you believe the damage is catastrophic. They let you believe the paint has fused with your clear coat. They let you believe that without their industrial equipment and their certified technicians and their proprietary compounds, your car is permanently scarred, and you pay. Because what else are you going to do? What they are not telling you is that vandalism spray paint and the factory clear coat on your car are chemically completely different. And that difference is the exact reason why a $1 household product can remove the graffiti without touching your paint job. They are exploiting a gap in your knowledge that takes about 90 seconds to close, which is exactly what we are about to do. Now, before I tell you what the product is, I need you to stay with me for just one more moment. Because what I am about to reveal to you about paint chemistry is going to permanently change the way you think about auto body repair. And it is going to make you question every single repair estimate you have ever received. But watch closely what happens next, because this is where it gets important. This spray paint hack is just one page in a much larger book that the industry does not want you reading. In the description of this video, there is a link to the complete buried blueprint vault. Inside that vault are dozens of classified home and survival DIY guides, covering everything from stopping rust permanently with a $3 mineral treatment, to sealing a leaking roof from the inside without ever going up a ladder, to neutralizing mold at the cellular level without a single drop of commercial bleach product. These are not internet rumors. These are documented, chemistry-backed methods that the relevant industries buried because none of them can be monetized. The link is in the description. Go there after this video. But stay right here, because exactly how you apply this changes everything. And if you skip this part, you might damage your clear coat when you do not need to. Here's the reveal. The product is rubbing alcohol, specifically 91% isopropyl alcohol. The kind that costs between $1 and $2 at any pharmacy, any grocery store, any gas station in America. Or, if the vandalism is on a vertical surface like a car door, the even better option is standard alcohol-based hand sanitizer gel. The same gel that has been sitting on every counter in America for the last several years, that gel, the one you probably have in your glove compartment right now, that is the secret solvent. And the reason it works is pure chemistry. Beautiful, simple, devastating chemistry that the body shop industry prays you never take 5 minutes to understand. Here is the science. There are two types of paint that matter to this conversation. There is what the industry calls a 1K paint, meaning a one-part paint. Vandalism spray paint from a can is almost always a 1K acrylic or enamel formula. 1K means it is a single component paint that dries by evaporation. The solvent in the can evaporates into the air, and the pigment is left behind on the surface. That is all it is. It does not chemically bond with what it lands on. It just sits there, dried, on top of the surface, which means the right solvent can reliquefy it. It can melt it back into a liquid state and wipe it away. Because drying by evaporation is not the same as chemically bonding. It is reversible. Now your car's factory clear coat is something completely different. Your factory paint is a 2K paint, a two-part catalyzed polyurethane. When the factory builds your car, the paint and clear coat are applied in a controlled environment and then baked in an industrial curing oven at extremely high temperatures. During that baking process, the two components in the clear coat undergo a permanent chemical cross-linking reaction. The molecules lock together. They form a network that is, for all practical purposes, bulletproof against mild solvents. And here's the critical point. Isopropyl alcohol at 91% concentration is exactly strong enough to reliquefy a 1K evaporation-dried spray paint, but it is not strong enough to penetrate or dissolve a baked, cross-linked 2K polyurethane clear coat. It does not have the chemical muscle for that. It slides right over your factory finish without touching it. But it absolutely wrecks the vandalism paint on top of it. The spray paint has nowhere to hide. It dissolves into the cloth and your original factory paint emerges underneath, completely unharmed. That is not a trick. That is not a workaround. That is paint chemistry operating exactly as it was designed. The body shop knows this. Every certified auto body technician knows this. They just also know that knowledge is not billable. The collision centers do not want you to know this next part, because this is where we take that chemistry and turn it into a procedure that takes about 10 minutes in your driveway with equipment you already own. Here is the exact step-by-step process. And I need you to follow each step in order, including the last one, which most people skip and which is the most important safety step of all. Step 1. Before you touch the spray paint with anything, wash the vandalized area with basic dish soap and water. Use a sponge, not a rough brush. You are not trying to remove the graffiti in this step. You are removing road dirt, grit, and surface contamination that could act like sandpaper against your clear coat if you start wiping with a cloth. This step takes 2 minutes, and it protects you from creating any scratching during the removal process. Rinse it completely and let it dry, or dry it with a clean microfiber. Step 2. Go to a pharmacy or grocery store and buy 91% isopropyl alcohol. Not 70%, 91. The 70% formulation has more water in it, and it is significantly less effective as a solvent. The 91% is the one you want. It typically costs between $1 and $2, and you will find it in the first aid section. If the vandalism is on a horizontal surface like a hood, the liquid formula works perfectly. But if you are dealing with a vertical panel, a door, a quarter panel, a bumper, get alcohol-based hand sanitizer gel instead. The gel has a viscosity that causes it to cling to vertical surfaces rather than running straight down onto the ground. It gives the solvent time to work. Step 3. Apply the alcohol generously to a clean microfiber cloth. Do not use a paper towel. Paper towels can have enough texture to create fine scratches. Use a proper microfiber detailing cloth. Fold it into a flat pad so you have a clean, even surface to work with. Step 4. Press the soaked microfiber cloth against the spray paint and begin wiping. Use gentle, even pressure. Do not scrub. Do not use circular motions like you are trying to buff something out. Just wipe. The alcohol is doing the work for you. You are simply a delivery mechanism. You will notice within seconds that the spray paint is transferring to the cloth in liquid form. It is melting off the clear coat. Fold the cloth to a clean section regularly so you are not just redistributing liquefied paint back onto the surface. As the paint starts to clear, you may see a small amount of ghost residue. Do not panic. Continue wiping with a fresh section of cloth and more alcohol. It will come off completely. Step 5. And this is the one I need you to hear clearly, because skipping this step is the only way you can cause any harm to your clear coat. The moment the Vandalism paint is completely removed, immediately wash the entire treated area thoroughly with car wash soap and clean water. Isopropyl alcohol, while not strong enough to eat through your factory clear coat on brief contact, is still a solvent. Prolonged exposure, meaning leaving it to sit on the surface for an extended period, could potentially cause some softening of the clear coat over time. You do not want it sitting there. Wash it off. Rinse it off. Then, after the surface is dry, apply a thin coat of car wax or paint sealant to the treated area to restore its protective layer. This takes about 3 minutes, and it seals and protects the clear coat you just worked to save. That is the entire procedure. Wash the area. Apply 91% alcohol or hand sanitizer gel to a microfiber cloth. Wipe gently without scrubbing. Fold the cloth to a clean section as it picks up paint. Wash the area with soap and water the moment the graffiti is gone. Apply wax. Done. $1, 10 minutes. Your car looks like nothing ever happened. Now let us put that next to what the body shop was going to charge you. The estimate on your door. The one the technician handed you after his carefully practiced sigh and his clipboard theater. $1,500. Maybe $2,000. Maybe $2,200 if they were feeling confident about your level of panic. They were going to wet sand your panel, which means taking abrasive paper to your factory finish. They were going to compound it, polish it, possibly blend paint from the adjacent panels to match the color, and then apply clear coat and buff it out. That is the procedure for actual paint damage. For an actual scratch that cuts through the clear coat and into the base coat, that is what that procedure is designed for. It is not what spray paint on top of an intact clear coat requires. But they were going to charge you for it anyway, because you did not know the difference, and they were counting on that. The industry prays you never find this out. Every body shop owner, every collision center manager, every estimate writer who has ever handed a panicked car owner a 4-figure quote for a problem that a $1 bottle of rubbing alcohol would fix in 10 minutes, they are all banking on the fact that you do not know what 1K paint is. They are banking on your chemistry gap. And for decades, they have been right to bank on it. That changes today. The information you just received is real. The chemistry is documented. The procedure is safe when followed correctly, and the savings are not hypothetical. They are sitting in your wallet right now instead of in a body shop's account. If this video saved you money, or if it is going to save someone you care about from getting taken advantage of by a collision center estimate, then share it. Put it in your neighborhood group. Send it to the person in your family who just got hit with a body shop quote. This knowledge protects people who do not even know they need protection yet, and the only way it spreads is if you move it. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell so you do not miss a single blueprint, because every one of these videos is a piece of information that some industry paid to keep buried, and we are going to keep digging it up. The next blueprint opens soon, and what's inside is even heavier.